the Fishin' Canada Show. Brought to you in part by GM Goodwrench Service. Silver Thread Excalibur Fishing Line, 10 times stronger. Coleman, the greatest name in the great outdoors. And Barkleys, the outdoor specialists. On today's program, we'll travel to the North Country to try our luck on the ever-popular walleye. Then we'll get a look at a lesser-known species of fish with a ton of pulling power. We'll be right back.
Yes, we're in for some good fishing in Canada.
For people with a passion as big as the Canadian outdoors, Outdoor Canada magazine. If you love fishing and the outdoors, Outdoor Canada magazine is for you. You'll get the lowdown from the pros on the hottest spots, top techniques, best equipment, ultimate adventures, plus leading conservationists' thoughts on important Canadian issues like water, wildlife, government intervention, what's working and what's not. We're so sure you'll love Outdoor Canada magazine, we want you to try us for free. Simply call 1-888-832-1647 or visit us on the web at www.outdoorcanada.ca/TV offer to reserve your free trial issue. Along with your free issue, you'll be invited to get 8 more great issues, including our Ultimate Fishing Annual. And as a special bonus, you'll also receive this high-quality stainless steel collector's knife. All for the low price of just $19.97. Reserve your free issue now.
Hey, we're here with a bunch of friends in our racing limo to test the power of Interstate Batteries. Come on, check it out. Anyone for a power shake? You got him. Hey, this baby, crank it out some power. Look, we're on. We're doing pretty good.
Interstate Batteries, power fast, built to last.
Hey, this one first, second, third place.
In the world of compact pickups, only one truck can have the most available power. Only one can offer the most towing. Only one has the biggest standard bed. Only one offers the longest wheelbase. The interesting thing is that all these superlatives can be found in only one truck. Dodge Dakota. Introducing 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Dakotas. Dodge Dakota. Difference.
Walleye are normally associated as a big water fish, living in massive lakes and rivers. Well, today, Reno shows us that at certain times of the year, the smaller areas can often be the best.
Walleye. One of my favorite fish in the whole wide world. Come on, buddy. Come on over here. Yeah, it's a walleye. Now, folks, I don't know if you can tell. Look at how shallow water I'm in. I'm surrounded by weeds. I actually forgot my anchor today. I don't even have an anchor, so I'm using the shoreline as my anchor. And hopefully, we're going to catch a whole bunch of walleye, just like that. I've got a surefire, dynamite, new product. Well, it's not so new, but what they've done to it is new. And we're going to test it out here today. Now, as usual, it's the spring of the year, and I know that walleye are going to be in some sort of faster moving water. They just finished spawning a while back, so they're still going to be hanging around river mouths, current areas, points, that sort of thing. And I got another way to tell that it's walleye season and I should be fishing in fast water. I don't know if you can see these bugs swirling around me, but here's what I need to do before I do that. The hatch is just happening. And if I don't get some of this stuff on me now, this is the Muskol, and you got to use a deep-based product in order to avoid, nice bald head, huh? In order to avoid being pestered all day long. So Put the Muskol on, but the Muskol, more importantly than protecting me, the reason I need the Muskol, oh wow, lots of snags in here too, is because the hatch has just happened a while back, and basically all the bugs are starting to come out. We got some mosquitoes and we got some black flies, and unless you could be comfortable fishing, you are definitely going to have a problem catching fish. Now here's my little secret. I wasn't going to show you till later, but I'm going to show you now. This is the new Powerbait. It's the extra strength, the one with all the goodies in it. And you people know how much I like chartreuse. Well, here's a color variation from yellow to chartreuse to green. It's a whole, I don't even know what there's an actual color for this thing. And they call it yellow. But it's not real bright yellow as we all know it. All favorite walleye colors combined into one, plus you got tournament strength Powerbait formulation right built into it. So that's what I'm using. Here's one right there. Right in that fast water. Beautiful. Now look at how he took the jig right in the corner of his mouth. So he's coming at me with his mouth wide open. And come on, buddy. See, just like that. Get rid of the jig. Hey, don't shake around now. Get rid of the jig. Beautiful. Now, there's a good size. They're not trophies. They're not trophy walleye by a long shot, but they certainly are good looking, as we like to call them, TV fish. Fishing rivers and creeks is a little more complex than you might think. The riverbed will usually consist of a large flat area, 2 to 3 feet in my case today, and a secondary channel. This channel will hold the majority of the fish in all species, like walleye and pike. Try to concentrate on the turns and the sharp edges in the channel. Hey, now there's what I told you. Remember I told you there might be a pike or two mixed in with them? Here he is right here. That was a pike. Come over here, buddy. Oh, there he is. They live together. It's amazing how many times you'll be fishing for walleye and you'll catch a pike. There's another fish right there. Powerbaits has got enough going for itself. The scent's already built in. You don't need to be spraying your baits every few minutes. It is one powerful bait. Now this is a little wee guy. Come on over here. Come on over here. I'll show you. This is a little wee guy. All right. Another walleye. I got everything happening proper this morning. I got the right equipment, the right baits, polarized glasses, got my silver thread line. Look at this thing. Look at him. Look at how skinny he is. Look at this. He just ate that jig. And even though it's not going to be good for fishing, I even got the sun coming out a little bit right now. It's going to make it a real enjoyable day now. I don't know where he came from. We'll pretend we never even caught him, though. Here's one. One of the misconceptions that we have is that when fish finish spawning, whoa, this might be a pike. Might be a pike. When fish finish spawning, the first thing they'll want to do, what is that thing? It's got to be a pike. The pike, or the fish will want to, no, it is a pike, look at that. The fish will want to head out to deeper water, and they do it all in one motion. Nothing could be further from the truth. There's a time period from when they actually spawn until they're actually out in the lake. Yep, got everything happening. They're biting on cue. Of course, that power bait's helping that happen. I've even got the sun coming out a little bit. It's going to make my fishing a little slower, but I tell you what, it's going to make my day a lot more enjoyable. That's a good one. A couple of pounds right there. I don't know if you can see him in the water. I can. I got those polarized glasses on it, and I can see him. So sometimes when I say, look at him, I'm probably seeing him before you're actually seeing him. Look at how far he had that thing in his yap. That's a good little fish. Nice little honest 2.5 pounder. So you can see him swimming back. Again, let me recap. I'm working a swift water. I'm going to say a river situation, but it's the mouth of a river situation. It's not rapids. The fish have finished spawning, and sometimes in the next week and a half to 2 weeks, they'll actually be out in the lake that's behind me, and they'll be, oops, I missed them. They'll be hard to locate until they actually get into a nice pre-summer pattern. So I'm trying to intercept them between the place where they spawned, which was further upriver, near some rapids, and their travels through this piece of water until they hit the lake.
Reno's early season Walleye Creek feeds into the phenomenal Knee Lake in Manitoba. Knee Lake is known primarily as a big pike producer, but it's one of the best walleye lakes around. He flew from Toronto, Ontario to Winnipeg, Manitoba with Canadian Airlines, and then took a charter flight 400 miles north to the incredible Knee Lake Resort. This is one establishment that will definitely impress you both in fishing and accommodations. For flight information to Winnipeg, call Canadian Airlines at 1-800-665-1177. And for the perfect fly-in wilderness experience, not to mention fishing extraordinaire, call Knee Lake Resort at area code 204-775-9799.
The Coleman remote control lantern can be turned on in an instant from up to 50 feet away. Coleman, the greatest name in the great outdoors. What was that?
You know, this is great.
Rediscover the lost art of conversation. Go RVing. Life's a trip. Call for a free brochure.
On July the 1st, 1916,
the famous battle on Bougainville took place.
the Royal Newfoundland Regiment suffered more than 90% casualties.
In the Second World War, Newfoundlanders were always in the front lines.
This memorial means a lot to the people of Winnipeg. When the memorial needed to be fixed up,
We had a lot of help from Hindy's Home Hardware.
We really appreciate the work they did.
Hi, Carstar. Yeah, do you do quality collision repair? Can you match my paint exactly? Great. Looks like I may need a rental car.
At Carstar, you'll enjoy a quality service experience from start to finish. Guaranteed. We take care of everything, so you can take it easy.
I feel better already.
Carstar, just around the corner, nationwide.
The Coleman remote control lantern can be turned on in an instant from up to 50 feet away. Coleman, the greatest name in the great outdoors. What was that?
And now it's time for the F-Files, brought to you by GM Goodwrench Service. Today's F-File species is the walleye. Scientific name, Stitzostedion vitrium. The walleye is one of North America's most popular game fish in both angling and eating aspects. The average size of catchable walleye is from about 10 to 30 inches long, or 1 to 6 pounds. They have a long and somewhat lean body that varies in color from yellow, gold, and silver to a brilliant green. It has a very long, sharp, spiny dorsal fin and a pair of razor-sharp gill covers which an angler has to be very wary of. The steel mesh glove helps alleviate this problem. Its teeth are extremely sharp at the tip, but are cone-shaped along the sides, making line breakage only a minor problem, unlike a pike or muskies, which have razor-sharp edges, making a leader an absolute necessity. The two most distinctive ID points a walleye has are the white tip on the bottom of the tail and the unmistakable large opaque-looking eyes. These eyes are very sensitive to light, making the walleye a very successful low-light and night feeder. The walleye has a very close look-alike cousin, the sauger. The easiest way to tell them apart is the sauger has distinct black spots that run along both dorsal fins. It has dark band-like markings on its sides, and it lacks the white spot at the bottom of the tail, which a walleye will always have. The spawning habits of a walleye are very predictable. They like well-oxygenated, shallow, rocky areas with a slight current created by either rivers and streams or wind, if on a lake. The pre-spawn period starts in late fall, when the females already are developing their eggs. They hold eggs right through the winter until the spring waters start to reach about 42 degrees Fahrenheit to 49 degrees Fahrenheit, with the magic number 44 degrees. The large and smallmouth bass are definitely two top dogs on North America's fish list. But a third bass species, the striper, doesn't fall too far behind on Pete's list. Let's catch up with him and his extremely interesting quarry.
Oh, yeah, baby! Right. Uh-oh, he's going upstream on me. Oh, he got off. No, did he? There he is. Whoa, man, this is a tough fish. Nice one. Nice striper to start the day off. Baby, I love it. On a minnow bait, Excalibur Series minnow bait, super modified, folks. When you look at this, you're going to say, what did this idiot do? But, oh, man, you know what? I'd like to net that fish. I got a net right here, and I'm going to net that. It's a good-sized striper for the first one of the day. I'll lip the little guys, but I'll net the better ones. And I'll show you this bait that I got set up, and I'll show you why I set it up like that. Whoa! They're jumping out of the net. That's a huge fish. That's my biggest striper yet. Check out this minnow bait. Oh, did I ever hook him neat? Big old Siwash hook, single Siwash hook they usually use for salmon. It was right up through here and out here. So he must have smacked at it. Decent fish. What a cool looking fish, folks. Just like almost looks like a walleye and fights like a bass. And apparently they eat like a walleye too. Get back, baby, and I'm gonna show you this bait. All right. Now the reason I've done this, modified this crankbait, this minnow bait, first thing, this area is full of snags, mostly trees like this that are in the water, and I need a bait to go through that. Now I thought a spinnerbait might be a good idea, but a spinnerbait rides so high, and the more you pull it, the more it comes up. I want a bait that sort of wants to go down towards the bottom. So I got a suspending Excalibur minnow, took off the front two hooks. I could have kept these two on, okay? I did the same thing and maybe cut the two side hooks and the bottom hook off so I could have just one trailer, but they run against the body so much. So I just took this one, took all three hooks off, took a single Siwash hook, stuck it on the back, put an extra split ring on here so that it would run straight up, and there you've got an almost weedless bait. Now when it runs, it's still going to get hung up a little bit, but with the rocks and everything in here, I mean, you're guaranteed to hang up. There's so many snags, but this will help so much, and there's so many fish in here. It's not like I'm fishing all day for 2 bites. There's a lot of fish in this area. That was about my 5th cast, and believe it or not, I just retrieved that steady. Just nice, low like that. Suspending bait versus a floating bait because I want it to get down a little bit. If I was using a floating bait in this situation, I would first try and put a small rubber core or maybe a few split shots in it just to get it down a little bit. But when you got suspending baits available nowadays, you don't need to do that anymore. I'm going to plug away and hopefully the bait will work. Crankbait, you're going to get down a little deep, you might get snagged up a lot more. I got about 6 foot of water, it breaks off into about 10 or 12 right here, right underneath me. So I'm just going to plug away, and if I don't get a whole bunch here, I'll move around. Now that's the problem with this single hook. I am going to miss fish, and I know I'm going to miss fish. It's a huge hook. It might be a little big. I might cut an Excalibur off next, but I'm going to miss fish. But I know that. I accept that. So what the heck? Take it, and he did. I can't tell if this is any good or not, folks, because it's current. Current all the way. He's coming up. Coming back upstream for me. Is he a netter or is he a lipper? Ah, he's a little feller. That's okay. I'll take that, especially when they fight like that. Bingo. Look at that big old hook right in the side of his mouth. Come here, little fella. That's the easy part of that. You can grab your minnow bait. For the first time in my life, I can grab a minnow bait and not worry about snagging myself. Look at that, hook that fish the same way again. Wow, both those fish. I think they're smacking them because I've missed a bunch of fish. I think they're smashing at these baits, and I'm just getting lucky with this big hook. Striped bass, obviously for prominent reasons. No teeth, very, just like a largemouth or a smallmouth almost too, folks. They're a very fine tooth in there. Catch about 150 of these though in a day, and your thumb will be as raw as it ever was. See you, bud? There's one right there. Straight behind the boat. Almost trolling that bait, folks, if you could call it still trolling. I cast into the shore, and he must have followed it out, or I was reeling it really slow against the current, letting the bait's own body use the current. I don't think he's very big, but little guy. Not bad, though. Man, are they fighting that current. Look at that thing. Just yank. Look at how strong that fish is to go against the current like that. And that minnow bait just whipping back and forth. That's all it was doing. That little buddy, I'll sling him. Again, I hooked him again like that on the other side. That is wild. Easy. Man, he's a wild man, that guy. What a neat looking fish. I love them. Now, it's not, a lot of people will think a fish that size maybe what they call a silver bass and all that. We do have white bass and silver bass, but that's a striped bass right there from the ocean. What amazes me most is how a fish can come up from salt water and go into fresh water and spawn and live and then go back out into salt water. That amazes me totally, but they do it obviously. Now, that was weird. That was, I let it come, I cast to the shore, let it sit right there, reel it in very, very slowly, and then he took it. So I don't know if he followed it or if he was just sitting in the current. But I can keep doing that. When you get onto something like that, and it works, whenever you catch one, oh, there was a bump. Oh, there's a bump. Come on, baby. 2 bumps. Whenever you get onto something and it works, don't go crazy and try all kinds of other stuff, folks, until that doesn't work again, because consistency can be the name of the game. They are in here. They are definitely in here, folks. Oh, look at that. What's that rod tip? If I had 2 trebles on here right now, 3 trebles on here right now, guaranteed to fish every cast. Look at that. You saw that with the rod tip go? Guaranteed a fish every cast, and probably the second, he might hit it once with his body. But after that, you'd hook up big time. So that's, well, there's a key there in this striper fishing, as it goes with any current fishing. If you're trout fishing, I don't care what you're fishing for, walleye in rivers, fish those pockets like I was on earlier, against the bank, those trees that are making those pockets. Again, there was some somewhat calm water there. Or come out to a spot like this. You see this? Beautiful pocket. It's a huge pocket here. And folks, I'll guarantee you, if there is not 1,000 to 2,000 fish in this hole right now, then that ain't a striped bass. Throw the hook for me, thank you. Beauty. Beauty fish. Current fishing. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Ooh, yeah.
Pete locked horns with these hard-pulling stripers by going to the east coast of Canada. He first arrived in Fredericton, New Brunswick. He launched a boat in the St. John River and worked his way south towards the city of St. John, fishing all the smaller feeder creeks he could find. Please note the legal striper season is from April 15th to October 30th, and it's a total catch and release fishery. Go give it a try. And now the Chevy Truck Fishing Trivia question. What species of weed is different from the rest of the following group? A. Coontail, B. Bulrush, C. Cabbage, D. Milfoil, E. Sandgrass.
John's a serious farmer, and his ATV has to work as hard as he does. So he chose the Honda Foreman to take him places he seriously wants to go. When Pat doesn't trust the weather, she trusts her TRX 250. It's the natural choice for someone whose nature is to work hard. Michael chose the TRX 300 4x4 because it makes sure he's always breaking new ground. Honda ATVs unite like-minded workers in unlikely places.
Oh, Becky, look. Wow. There's the Big Dipper, and there's Orion.
Daddy,
Uh-huh.
who turns off the stars at night?
Nobody. They're on all night.
So how come we never see them from home?
Discover the world through a new set of eyes. Go RVing. Call for a free brochure.
Do you know what your day is going to be like? I don't. I want to eat right, but sometimes, well, you know. And what happens if I get constipated? I can't say, "Excuse me, please, would you mind slowing down? I'm having problems with irregularity." So I rely on Metamucil. Its 100% naturally sourced fiber treats my body gently, unlike my job.
Naturally sourced Metamucil, most recommended by doctors for irregularity.
One of those bottles should happen to fall.
98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer. If one of those bottles should happen to fall. 97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97 bottles of beer. If one of those bottles should happen to fall.
And now the Chevy Truck Fishing Trivia answer. What species of weed is different from the rest of the following group? A. Coontail, B. Bulrush, C. Cabbage, D. Milfoil, E. Sandgrass. The answer is B. The bulrush. It's the only weed of the group that will grow above the water's surface. The rest are all subsurface weeds. The Fishin' Canada show has been brought to you in part by Chevy Trucks, like a rock. South Bend, a Canadian fishing tradition. Mariner Outboards, better in the long run.
And look at that.
And Muskol, there's nothing more repellent. We certainly hope you enjoyed today's show. For more information, feel free to cast us a line or check out our website at www.barkleys.com. And thanks for Fishin' Canada.
Sports Central Weekends with Darren Draper on CTV Sports in Ontario. First at 6.